Skye Squad, we are back in the building, and we are here to talk about our new favorite couple, Sheree and Martell. Oh yes, we got some tea. Kandi is about to blow up that spot, baby. Kandi about to blow up that spot, okay? Now, here's what's going on. Let me give you guys the tea. First, let's talk about Carlos King revealing whether or not he actually was the person that set them up, as people were thinking. Because, Sheree has said that they were kind of, met through a mutual friend. So let's get into the tea that Carlos King revealed on his podcast. And then we're going to get into Kandi's tea that she revealed on the radio this morning. Okay. So first things first. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Hit that notification bell button. Join the, with this texting community thing, I am going to revamp and revitalize that. So stay on hold for that. Updates coming soon. Meanwhile, let's get into what Carlos King had to say. So they address it first things first in his new podcast that's out today. And they do an interview with Ashley Silva, which I was getting into, and it is quite interesting. And I will go back and recap it if there is a lot more to dish on after I get through listening to it. But I got another interview that's coming out at right after this. So just bear with me, y'all. It's a lot going on and I still got to travel today. But meanwhile, let's get into the news. So he said that he found out 6 weeks ago that Sheree and Martell were dating. And he said that he was told by a mutual friend. So this friend is somebody who knows both of them. He says that he was headed to the airport and he had to pull over because he thought it was a publicity stunt. So 2 weeks later, he says that he had to call Martell because typically when he got to call Martell is in trouble and need a good cussing out. Okay. So Martell be, side-eyeing the phone when Carlos having to call him. So he picked up the phone and then he said that Martell told him someone wants to say hi to you. So then he put Sheree on. And so she heard, he heard her say hello or whatever. So at that point, when she said hello, it was a conferenced call. So he had obviously conferenced Sheree in on the call. Okay. So at that point in time, he had to tell Sheree, I'm going to call you later. Okay. I need to go curse out Martell or whatever. And then, he goes on to say that, he was not going to spread any of his cast business. He didn't tell anybody. Okay. Now here is some extra tea. It was asked on the podcast if Melody was the person that told him, and she was not the person that told him. Also, extra tea. Apparently, this is going to come up on the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Oh yes, this is going to come up and be discussed in a conversation with Martell and Marceau about this rumor that he might be dating Sheree. Okay. So Carlos kind of likened it to the story that Ben Affleck, when he told his homies that he was dating J-Lo and they was like, are you effing J-Lo? You effing J-Lo? So I'm assuming it's going to go something like that. Okay. So what we also know is that Melody and the rest of the cast will talk about it on this upcoming season. Now, he goes on to talk about, the similarities between, Sheree and Sheree and Martell, and basically says, they're both Capricorns. There's a bit of an age gap, but he kind of just believes that Sheree is really just having fun and maybe getting her back blown out. Okay. And then he said, per a recent conversation with Melody, that she too has completely moved on and he doesn't think that she cares about this situation at all. As we also talked about in yesterday's video, when she's actually been doing some press and she's been asked about this question. Now, let's take things a step further though, because everybody wants to know, is this real? Is this the real deal? Because after hearing about the things that Tyrone had to say about their situation and Sheree knowing about him, not being able to come visit her, and then, this whole notion that she was stood up that went viral, it kind of leads us to believe like, what is actually real here in this situation? And so now we have further need to ask what's real in this situation, because allegedly, according to Kandi, based on what we see here from the neighborhood talk that picked up the story, Kandi is questioning the validity of Sheree and Martell'S relationship because he plotted with a friend of hers, allegedly, to get more publicity earlier this year. Apparently, they reserved a table at Blaze and called people to take pictures of them, but apparently the story did not go viral, and only, I think, one other outlet might have picked it up. So, let's get into a little bit of the vocal of what Kandi had to say.
Sheree is dating Martell Holt.
I don't want her to be in a situation where it feels like, you know, where she's being used for publicity. Earlier this year, and I gotta be honest, a family friend of mine who was on another reality show hit me up to go out on a date with him at Blaze and was like, oh, could you have another table open for us because we're gonna have somebody taking our pictures and videos so that they can post it and da-da-da-da, like this was something they had. And I was like, okay. But no blog really posted, only like one place posted it. But my whole point was, now that I see this similar situation, I'm like, is he doing this? Or like, is he being genuine, or is he doing the same thing that he was doing with the other person I knew? So that's why I was like,
That's fair.
weird.
Okay, so let's talk about it all, okay? Let's really dive deep into the meat and potatoes, okay? The Miss Wanda potatoes of it all right? I had felt like, to me, that this screamed paparazzi relationship when I saw the photos and videos of them on the beach. It was just a little too much like, oh, bae, let's take these selfies together. And oh, there is someone over there with a video camera and they are gonna, ooh, they got us. They got us. Then up pops the video with Sheree literally talking to TMZ, answering the questions. When have we ever really seen Sheree just running around talking to TMZ about relationships? To be quite honest with you, Carlos even said on his podcast that Sheree is a very private person. So didn't it seem a little odd that she might just be suddenly at the same time that the photo, the videos leak of them on the beach, that she would be talking to the TMZ, giving them some intel about the two of them, how they met, him meeting the family and friends and whatnot, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop? I mean, for real? I don't know. But what should we call them? Should we call them Shartell? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how they be giving the people the relationship names. Should we call them Shartell? Is that it? Do y'all like that? Okay, because on Carlos King, I think somebody might have said Marae. Okay, you know Marae, Martell, and Sheree. But I was thinking Shartell, Sheree, and Martell. I felt like that made more sense to me. Anyway, y'all let me know. Am I tripping? Do you guys think that this is real? Do you think that Sheree is just getting the back blown out? I hate to put it in those terms, but y'all know. I mean, let's just call a thing, people. Let me know in the chatterization down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Shout out to Kandi for spitting out that tea. We definitely appreciate it. Kandi gonna keep it real. So, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think, and we will catch you guys in the next video.